Thank you. Good morning. Really pleased to be able to talk to you today about creating pipelines of nature-based solutions, namely a SUDS retrofit pipeline on public estate in Greater Manchester. That's what I'll be focusing on. But before I kind of launch into that, I just want to reflect on the fundamental importance, and Sam's touched on this, of the job of getting nature-based solutions, pipelines of nature-based solutions investment ready. Benefit identification, site feasibility and assembly, setting up the robust governance and payment structures that Sam talked about, financial movement of money, repayment, verification of outcomes are all essential in this, and it's complicated. And the example I'm going to give you of SUDS retrofit is just one such pipeline, and we need more. And so I'm going to now just spend a few minutes highlighting our kind of long and winding road, if you like, of the SUDS pipeline journey. Apologies, this slide's a little bit complicated, but reflecting where we started, it started with a simple invest to save model. Our water company here in the Northwest, United Utilities, has a system where you can disconnect hard standing if you're a non-domestic customer, take it out of their system, and you can have a saving on your water bill. So what we plan to do, as you can see in the central kind of diagram, is set up a climate adaptations service company or a Casco SPV to work with site owners to basically install the SUDS, achieve that band saving. That annualized saving would be an income stream at which we would raise repayable finance. Turns out it's a little bit more complicated than that. One of the big issues was that the normal investment cycle, particularly at this stage in the market, was about 10 years. And you can see here, this would save this band 5 to 4, about 12.5 grand. That's not enough to pay for the capital install of a SUD. So that was our first bend in the road, if you like, and we really needed to kind of understand a wider number of beneficiaries who were interested in SUDS and, more importantly, really willing to pay. So where are we now? We've refined our pipeline. We've actually got 16 sites in it. Give you an idea of how complicated it was. We started out with 3,000. Most of them are schools, 1.4 million in terms of the capital investment. But the pie chart here, if you see, is we've really broadened out our beneficiaries, our funders, and we are looking at public and private sector grants, as well as still the element of repayable finance. We're also getting value put in for the site owners themselves because they are giving up land for the sustainable drainage systems, and they're building those systems into their operational maintenance for their site landscaping. So they are actually a contributing partner as well. And it's against this blended finance model that we're now developing kind of a robust and innovative set of kind of delivery arrangements. You've still got the Casco in the middle, but that will actually be doing a lot of other activities. It will be taking the grant and the repayable finance. It will be procuring and designing the SUDS. It will be managing the delivery. It will be working and delivering governance. It will be managing the financial flows. It will be verifying that the SUDS and the outcomes that the beneficiaries want are being delivered. And positively, in the next 6 months or so, we expect to take this out to confirm the funding commitments, set up the delivery vehicle, and actually start delivering this towards the end of the year. That's our sort of expected timeline. But I'll just finish off with a few sort of takeaways. It's fairly obvious, but at this point in the journey in developing SUDS or other MBS pipelines, a partnership approach is absolutely essential. We need to bring a number of beneficiaries together to share both the benefits from their investments, but also to share the cost and spread the cost and the risk. A blended kind of multi-partner kind of financing structure at the moment is probably critical until this becomes a more mature market and more private finance comes in. Secondly, and going back to Sam's point, getting projects investment ready and pipelines investment ready is absolutely critical, but it's not free. So our process, our SUDS pipeline, just one pipeline, still has some resource asks to get it over the line to actually start raising that money and delivering the SUDS. There are other pipelines. They're going to need resourcing to get them investment ready, and we should acknowledge that, and we should actually plan for it. And finally, everything we've done here in Ignition, the processes we've developed, for example, around site identification and selection, are designed to be repeatable. And it's vital that we get more standard and repeatable processes which can be applied within the project development cycle, within the financing kind of a task that we've sort of started to articulate, because standardization makes it easy, makes it cheaper, and makes it easier to go mainstream. I'll just finish off now by just reflecting that increasing investment into nature-based solutions to tackle the climate emergency, as you'll probably have guessed, is going to take slightly more than such retrofit on public estate alone. What we need is a lot more investment into a lot of different types of nature-based solutions, and I think that's hopefully going to link quite nicely into Rachel, who's going to talk about accelerating investment into MBS more widely. I'll finish there, thank you.